Hey, what's up guys? It's Mike Bowie making another video today. What I want to talk to you guys about is goals. More importantly, goals in 3 easy steps. We're going to show you how you can set a goal and most importantly accomplish your goals in 3 easy steps. Now the good news is we're talking about fitness goals, but also as a benefit, these rules can be applied towards any endeavors that you wish to pursue, whether it's your fitness goals, such as your health, also to your career, your financial goals, your religious goals, your family, any endeavors that's important for you. If you follow these 3 steps that I learned, this will definitely help you in that pursuit as well too. So what I like to do is draw my line, so this way it kind of makes a little bold imprint on it. So 3 goals in easy steps, right? Okay, the first thing you gotta do is number 1, you must set your goal. You have to set a goal. You have to set a target. In the sports world, you have to set a defined target to help yourself achieve it. The one little tip to help you guys is that what it must be is something obtainable. Okay, so you want it to be obtainable, but at the same time as well, you don't want it to be too simple nor too far out. So what that means is, let's say for example you're like 10 pounds more than what you should be, right? So rather than selling yourself short, making it too simple, don't make it a goal of, well, even though I'm 10 pounds more than I should be, let me just make an easy goal to make it 5 pounds. If I lose 5 pounds, I'll be happy. No, you're not. You're not going to be happy. You'll be happy when you get 10, okay? But at the same time as well too, because you know that you are 10 pounds from where you ought to be, whether it's gaining weight or losing weight, you don't want to make it too far out as well too, such as, well, you know what, I want to lose like 30 pounds or gain 30 pounds of muscle, even though 10 is what you really wanted. Now, some things to consider is to helping you out is not making it too far-fetched out, but at the same time not too simple as well too. Another big tip on helping this is you gotta write your goals, okay? If you don't write your goals out, you'll never know. And you know what, at the end of the day, as an adult, especially as like a parent, like myself, or probably in your cases, going through life with your career, school, family, all these things, a lot of things can get in your way. And it's not a bad thing or a good thing, but a lot of times you can get lost in the mix. You lose track of what you're trying to accomplish. That's why it's important to write your goals out. Now, some tips that I learned about writing your goals out is when you write it out, the big tip is put it where you can see. So for me, what I used to do is I would write my goals out and I would actually write on a piece of paper, actually several pieces of paper, and I would put it everywhere that I would normally use on a regular basis in my home and even in my workplace. So for example, I'll put it on my bathroom wall or like next to the mirror when I'm getting ready for work, when I'm like brushing my teeth and doing my hair. I can see and read my goals every single day, so I know exactly what I want to accomplish for the given set of time, okay? Also another area is your refrigerator. We're talking about health and fitness, right? You want to like get in shape, you want to lose weight, you want to look good. Well, putting it on your refrigerator is also a good area because you look at that every single day. Maybe it'll help you when you open up your fridge rather than grabbing something that is not helping you get to your goal. Maybe you can avoid that and eat something a little bit better as well too. But most importantly, you open your fridge and you look at your fridge every single time. So bathroom walls, refrigerators, and for me as well too, I put it on my front door. Putting on your front door, you walk out and into your house every single time or apartment, right? If you put on your front door before you start your day, you get out of your house. You put on your front door, you're reminded of that every single time. And when you look at these things and you're reminded of your goals, it actually helps you subconsciously focus towards your goals and move in the direction of your goals. So this way, you're better in line with what your priorities are, and it helps you minimize getting lost in translation or getting preoccupied with other things. So this way you stay focused. Okay, so these things will help you out for setting your goals, okay? So number one, set your goals. Number two, establish a timeline. Okay? You have to establish a timeline. You know, time is finite, right? Your goals are finite as well too. Even though the long-term goals is always a marathon, right? And a little bit of a side tip, I learned in life that like every day is a sprint, but the game of life is a marathon. Okay, so I kind of understood that for myself personally. So every single day I'm like, you know, full speed ahead, but I do understand that, you know, I have to also keep in mind the long game as well too when I establish my goals. You know, you want to establish a timeline. A timeline is basically you need to have a finite objective, okay? So a finite objective means that you need to have a start date and an end date. So start date is when? Right now, baby, okay? So you start right now, and you also set a timeline of when you want that to end. So for example, let's say, hey, you know what, for 2019, I want to, you know, lose 10 pounds in the next 6 months, right? Whatever that goal will be, or 12 months, or 4 months. So you want to have a finite objective, so this way you can make sure that you put yourself in line to get there. Now remember that you cannot make it too simple and too far out. So know your bodies and know your limitations, but most importantly, set something that is approachable, that's not too way off. So this way you can work towards it and move in the direction, because it's very easy for you to set something that's too unrealistic and you just like say, screw it, man, I'm too busy watching my kids, I'm too busy focusing on my job, I'm too busy of taking care of all this other stuff. And guess what? The reason why you gave up on your goals is because you made something that was just too unrealistic, to be honest. So this way, you know, make a start, make an end date, and then move towards it as well too, okay? And at the same time as well, you know, you have to think that it has to be from point A to point B, and that's going back with the same thing, point A to point B. It's just like in sports, you know, if you were to be a track star, right, you would focus on, you know, running the 100-meter dash, which is from 0 to 100 meters. That's start, that's end, right? Or a marathon, which is, I think, 26 miles. You know, so this way is a start date and an end date, and guess what? Those athletes, they focus all their efforts on that specific 100-meter dash, 400 meters, you know, 26 miles for the marathon. Or in the exercise world, point A to point B. So like, let's say a push-up, point A is down the ground, the point B is at full extension. So these are start and ends, but also for your goals, the timeline is very important as well too. So focus on that. And then of course, the last one is number 3. Work towards. It's very easy to sit and say this is number 1, which I still think it is, but realistically, this is what makes the bread and butter of your fitness goals, okay? Now, you set your goal, you establish a timeline of when you want to achieve it. Now you gotta work towards it, okay? Work towards your goals. Take massive action towards your goals. Do anything and everything to move towards it, to helping you make sure that you achieve it, okay? Put the work into it, and that's where it will turn around and come back to you tenfold with results, right? Now, for me, a lot of times on my goals, the one thing I learned as well too, I use this vocabulary word every time when I talk about fitness goals and my things. Be uncompromising, okay? Look at the word, uncompromising. What does that mean? That, you know, to me, it means that letting nothing get in your way, okay? Not letting distractions hinder from your target focus. And that's very important because, you know, in the game of life, a lot of things will come your way. A lot of surprises, which is good, but also a lot of surprises, which is bad, such as tragedies. And it doesn't mean that you ignore these things, right? You embrace it, but you become uncompromising for it. So for me, for example, in what we call a game of life, what I learned about time, I make time. So what that means is I make time for the things that's important for me. You know, fitness goals is important for me. My career is important for me. My family is important for me. Spending time with my family is also important for me. And of course, my personal beliefs as well too. I put all these things in my life, but most importantly, I make time to do it. You know, I'll give you guys an easy example. Like, I live in Austin, Texas, right? And my family, they live in Houston, Texas now. So it's very easy for me to sit and say and make no time for my daughter to know who my parents are. What I do now is I literally force myself to take, you know, certain days out during, you know, the weeks or the months to drive down to Houston to make sure that she knows who my parents are, because it's very important for me. It's very important for her to know who her grandparents are on my side of the family and the rest of her family as well too. So this way, you know, I make time for that. Where do I get the time? I'll be honest, I sacrifice sleep. You know, I probably sleep between about 5 to 6 hours a day. You know, 6 hours is optimal. You know, and even though it's not the best, as in like 8 hours a day, like the, you know, the professional athletes like bodybuilders and, you know, NFL football players and, you know, basketball players, it's not the optimal time like they do. But you have to remember that, you know, we're not professional athletes. I wish I was, just genetically I'm not. For those guys, they get paid the big bucks to play at a high level. Well, guess what? They can spend 8 to 12 hours a day sleeping, because that is part of their performance as well too. Where for me, you know, part of my performance is I have to focus on my career, I have to focus on my fitness, and the only way I can accomplish all those together is by making time and be uncompromising. So there you have it, okay? Goals and 3 easy steps, and we'll recap this one more time. So number 1, set your goals. Make it attainable. Write your goals out. Put it everywhere that you can see, so this way you can move towards it. Number 2, establish a timeline. Make an end date. Make a deadline, so this way it forces yourself to move towards it. Number 3, work towards the fitness goals. Take massive action. Be uncompromising and make time. That's it for me today, guys. I hope you guys took this information and apply it. Any questions, feel free to hit me up. You can also post a comment, like my videos, also subscribe and share as well too. And of course, till next time, have a good one.